Coaching for Emotional Intelligence: The Secret to Developing the Star Potential of Your Employees by Bob Wall. The emotional dimension. Coaches often shy away from mentoring about emotional competencies. But often these skills make the difference between a merely competent manager and a truly effective one. A great deal can be accomplished with a heightened awareness of emotional intelligence, or EQ. All work provides a form of service that makes a difference in the world. This is true of all jobs, no matter how mundane and ordinary the job might seem to be. Even when experts promoted IQ tests as a method for measuring the ability of workers or students, they acknowledged that the competencies being assessed were only a part of what contributed to someone's personal and professional success. The 5 components of emotional intelligence are: 1. Self-awareness and self-control, understanding your core beliefs and values, evaluating how your feelings influence your actions, and responding appropriately in emotional situations. 2. Empathy, the ability to appreciate the circumstances and viewpoints of others, and to understand their needs and feelings. 3. Social expertness, creating positive relationships with people by projecting optimism and openness. 4. Personal influence, establishing credibility and accountability that allows you to persuade, guide, and inspire others. 5. Mastery of mission, vision, and guiding principles, the ability to understand your role, your company's purpose, and how they fit together. Steering point. The steering point is the objective that results from synthesizing your goals, your hopes for the future, and the ideals you hold most dear. This objective is usually embodied in an organization's mission statement. It's good for individual departments to evolve their own mission statements with the help of a representative group of employees. This builds consensus and buy-in. A team without vision is like a crew on a boat without a destination. Empathy means understanding the emotional reactions of others and how that affects their actions. This ability stems from a genuine concern for other people that not everyone possesses. If you are leading people through a difficult change, you must understand how the transition is affecting them in order for you to lead effectively. Improve your empathetic ability by being mindful not only of what employees are saying, but also of the underlying emotions that might be truly motivating their speech and actions. One way to hone this skill is to paraphrase what employees say and see how closely it resonates with them. As you close that gap, you will encourage other people to open up even more. Social expertness. Social adroitness, an extension of empathy, means truly caring about the other person and being willing to remain open. Your body language and facial expressions communicate volumes about you. Make sure they convey a positive message. With a clear picture in mind of how you want to behave, start acting that way, even though it takes you out of your comfort zone. The more you do this, the more comfortable you will feel with the new behaviors. The influence you have within your company is based on several characteristics: your expertise, the web of relationships you build over time, your ability to regulate your emotional reactions, and your ability to convey enthusiasm and purpose. A stunning gap separates the productivity levels of star employees and the productivity of average employees in medium or high complexity fields. The difference can be attributed to EQ. Companies that began hiring based on higher scores on EQ tests observed a measurable increase in productivity. The difference is especially noteworthy in sales, where emotional aptitude is very important. Intelligence, knowledge, or skill does not guarantee success. The determining factor, in study after study, was high emotional aptitude. Measuring potential. The Simmons Management Systems Profile has proven to be a reliable EQ assessment tool that companies can use to match the right personality with the right job. Utilized for nearly 30 years, the profile assesses 13 characteristics that predict workplace performance. Among other important considerations, it measures work ethic, adaptability, assertiveness, enthusiasm, and attitude. You are accountable for the performance of each and every person who reports to you. That is what leadership is. Several large organizations have reported saving thousands of dollars by using this assessment to reduce turnover rates drastically and to save the accompanying costs. In fact, the National Football League uses the profile to help determine whether incoming draft choices have the necessary characteristics to play certain positions. Coaching is a structured conversation designed to enhance, maintain, improve, or correct performance. Use the profile or similar instruments to help you narrow the field of candidates for job openings in your department or organization. You can assess applicants' emotional strengths and weaknesses, select the best candidates, and coach them in their weak areas. For instance, an EQ test may reveal that a potential hire possesses many great qualities, but needs help in learning how to delegate responsibility. Consequently, you can zero in on that deficiency. People want their leaders to notice what they do, to offer appreciation for work well done, and to provide timely and appropriately phrased corrective coaching when improvement in performance is needed. If you ask employees what irritates them the most, 9 out of 10 will say they don't get enough recognition for their accomplishments. Often, good work is not rewarded or praised. Without mentoring or feedback, employees often misunderstand how their work is being evaluated. Take the bad with the good. Employees also need to know when they are falling short, and that reflects directly on you. Remember, providing guidance is a part of your job, but you must customize it because every person and situation is unique. Managing people through fear and intimidation does not work with people who are hired for their knowledge and creativity. Unfortunately, some managers are uncomfortable correcting employees' behavior. They fear emotional blowback. Some managers believe that financial compensation is all the praise an employee desires. This is a fallacy that coaching can address. Coaching is simply a dialogue aimed at improving job performance. All good managers coach their staff members. In today's world, you must evaluate employees' output and how they achieve results. This leads coaches into more personal territory, which some managers and employees find uncomfortable. Still, people want and need feedback about what they're doing well and where they need to improve. One of the most basic findings in psychology is that rewarding a behavior increases the likelihood that the behavior will be repeated. When people are doing something you like, recognize them for it. Everyone is a product of his or her experiences. It's important to understand how previous events shaped your life and your employees' lives. The more aware you are of your past, the better your chances of avoiding carrying out pre-programmed behavior that might be counterproductive. Applying this insight as a coach means helping subordinates become conscious of memories, thoughts, and actions that may be limiting their success. Coaching fundamentals. Being in charge of others means mentoring them. Employees used to be satisfied to just have jobs. Enjoyment wasn't necessary. But in the current business environment, relationship networks are crucial to building success. In this information age, managers can't rely on intimidating their subordinates. Companies want employees who will add to their overall achievements and respect their guiding principles and goals. Form a pact with your staff in which you promise to work together to help them perform at their very best. This makes coaching a partnership rather than an interaction based on authority and negative consequences. It changes the focus of your relationships with people to a mutual commitment to excellence. Increasingly, organizations rely on teams of experts to work on special projects or problems. In the team environment, emotional intelligence is invaluable, so a team leader may be called upon to mentor others to build their emotional and social sensitivity. For instance, you may wish to encourage contributions from a shy subordinate, or help an aggressive team member to show more sensitivity or to be a better listener. Remain professional when you embark on coaching people about their personal characteristics. Relate these personal traits back to job performance. Some basics for coaching. Keep up to date on your emotional aptitudes. Perhaps the hardest part of this objective is uncovering your own subconscious personality flaws. Often in EQ assessments, executives give themselves higher marks than they receive from subordinates. Sometimes the gap is quite large. When you lead people, it is like looking in a mirror. If you want to know how well you are doing as a leader, all you have to do is look at your team. They reflect your passion, commitment, clarity of purpose, and drive to produce results. Skillfully pursue your own goals and principles. How do they match up with the company's concepts? An uncorrected disparity between a leader's values and those of the organization is very demoralizing to subordinates. Good rapport with your employees is essential. Learn what motivates them and let them know a little about you in return. Sometimes leaders avoid getting too close to employees because they may have to fire them later. But coaching depends on close relationships. You won't get the best work from your people until they know that you care about their improvement. Consistently review their performance. When you praise frequently, employees will be more amenable to corrective action. Develop the ability to diagnose situations where mentoring could help, and then step in. Make sure your employees know how their success will be measured. Avoid any misunderstandings during formal performance evaluations. A structured format. To integrate regular mentoring smoothly into your schedule, keep your feedback to a minute or less. Utilize a structured conversation, beginning with, "I want to talk to you about." It's useful to start mentoring dialogues with a uniform lead-in to differentiate your coaching comments from regular conversation. Clearly explain the adjustments you expect the employee to make. If you are offering praise, then just ask the person to keep up the good work. Continually praise good performance. You can offer praise in less than half a minute. Try to be precise in your accolades so your employees know you truly are tuned into their efforts. Make it a point each week to acknowledge contributions from your subordinates. Write down praiseworthy actions as you notice them, so you remember to comment. Don't be afraid to acknowledge others in public and help them feel proud of their contributions. Consistent praise makes employees more receptive to constructive criticism. Coaching is a matter of continually correcting the course for your employees. Corrective coaching. Employees should understand that you are committed to helping them improve. Remember to listen carefully during a corrective session. Maybe the employee doesn't fully understand the situation, or maybe he or she needs more mentoring. Perhaps some obstacle stands in your employee's way. When you are trying to improve an employee's emotional aptitude, you must offer him or her some alternative behaviors or actions to substitute for behavior that isn't working. Most people are trying hard to be productive contributors. Sometimes, you may informally pull an employee aside and mention one or two things you noticed in a recent interaction. Try not to come across as hypercritical. Add some positive reinforcement. Sometimes it's necessary to hold a more formal conversation with an employee to get him or her to reverse negative behavior. To modify someone's emotional attitudes or patterns, present solid examples. Gauge whether the employee acknowledges the problem. If not, help him or her understand the dilemma, so you can reach the point where the employee recognizes that the behavior must be changed. If you encounter a situation where the employee doesn't understand or won't admit the problem, you must take a stand. Explain that this behavior is unacceptable and will not be tolerated. If you're addressing an ongoing problem that has not been resolved, you may want to mention its long-term career consequences so the employee understands the gravity of the situation. If you cannot reach a resolution during coaching sessions, you may want to consult with your human resources department about the next step to take. Takeaways. 1. Your staffers want to know if their work is good, okay, or not good enough. 2. They can't change their habits unless they understand what they are and the impact they have. 3. Emotional aptitudes include empathy, social awareness, and optimism. 3. These abilities affect the way work is done. 4. Correct your employees respectfully in private. 5. Use well-supported tests and assessment tools to evaluate your employees. 6. Employees who are praised often are more receptive to criticism. 7. Memorize the structure of a mentoring dialogue so it becomes second nature. 7. Then make it second nature to use it often. 8. Dealing with potential problems immediately prevents them from growing larger. 9. Effective mentoring helps employees become more aware of their behavior. 10. Accurate and objective observations make your advice more helpful. Please like, share and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.